Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Venghaus with PDI Sustainability Solutions. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to sharing a brief overview, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, on our company and our sustainability as a service model. So a quick background on us. We build B2B and B2C programs to help companies both to measure the harmful environmental impacts of their products and services, and then to reduce those impacts through investments in various projects across the globe. We've been in business since 2014, initially focusing on the carbon-intensive sectors around the combustion of fossil fuels. So, for example, working with fuel retailers and convenience store chains, fleet operators, mobility providers, last mile delivery and logistics, etc. And over the last few years have also expanded our programs to look at impacts around energy use, water consumption, and plastic going into products packaging. Today, we operate programs in almost 30 countries throughout Europe, North America, Latin and South America, and to date have offset over 12 million metric tons of CO2 and planted over 750,000 trees on behalf of our partners and our clients. And we're very proud of these positive contributions that we've been able to help make. So we started our business with the premise that sustainability, if done right, and if effectively and authentically communicated to customers, could be a valuable tool for businesses to elevate their brands, differentiate themselves and their products from their competitors, to engender goodwill and loyalty, and really just deliver a positive financial ROI. I mentioned that we've been in business since 2014, and obviously a lot has changed since then in regards to demands and pressures around corporate sustainability and ESG, but the consumer is still very much at the heart of many of our programs. As such, we spend a lot of time trying to understand shifting and evolving consumer needs and preferences, understanding how sustainability impacts brand loyalty and purchase decisions. And what the data reveals is that this is no longer, if it ever really was, a fringe issue that only people on the coast or college kids care about. Truthfully, the majority of Americans are concerned about the environment and climate change. They're thinking about their role as consumers and the products that they're purchasing. And they want to vote with their wallets and their feet to support companies that they feel are doing their part to address these issues. They want to seek out better products, and in many cases, they're willing to pay a premium for products that are better for the environment. We do a lot of our own market research in this regard, and you can download at the QR code on the screen our 2022 version of our Business of Sustainability Index. We also read a lot of other research being put out in this space from other companies as well. In addition to consumers, though, we see that this also matters very much to employees, right? So as much as people want to buy from companies that are doing their part to address these environmental issues, they also want to work for companies that are doing these things. So sustainability can play an important role in enhancing your company's mission your mission or your purpose, or improving the corporate culture and helping to both attract top talent to your organization and also improve employee satisfaction and retention. For large and public companies, there are also investor and shareholder demands around climate action, ESG, and your company's overall environmental performance. And then there's regulatory requirements. So for example, the SEC has proposed new rules this year that would take place in 2023 that will require all publicly listed companies in the US to disclose climate-related financial risks and opportunities with their annual filings, in addition to their corporate emissions, both scope 1 and 2, and also in many cases, scope 3. And so obviously there are a lot of reasons for companies to be thinking about sustainability right now. And our goal is to help build practical, cost-effective, and turnkey programs that can meet companies wherever they are on their sustainability journey, even if they're just starting out. We intend to demystify this process and eliminate some of the barriers that are keeping companies on the sidelines. Our programs are intended to be simple to understand, easy to implement. They don't require adding any new full-time employees, and non-disruptive to current operations. We run consumer-facing programs for, as I mentioned, the petroleum and convenience retail space, also within fleet and mobility. So this includes companies and their own private fleet of vehicles. It includes fleet payment card companies, third-party logistics, telematics integrations, etc. We're also working within the grocery channel And finally, consumer packaged goods space, helping companies to calculate embedded emissions in their products and also the plastic used in packaging. In addition to these tactical solutions, we also offer more consultative services. So for example, sustainability strategy, greenhouse gas inventory, scope 3 and product level emissions, and benchmarking assessments. So as it relates to the tactical solutions that I mentioned, this infographic is representative of how our internal process works across all of our programs, regardless of the customer or the sector. So on the top left are the inputs or the data that we receive from our customers. This could be SKU level sales data, transactional data tied to payments, miles driven, gallons or liters of fuel sold or consumed, etc. And then we ingest that data and apply the relevant environmental factors, so carbon dioxide, plastic, water, energy, making sure to use factors from the correct source for that jurisdiction. So in the US, that may be an EPA factor, and it may come from a different agency in the EU or the EK or the UK. We then, on the right-hand side, are the outputs, and we provide this information back to our clients. We addend these environmental footprints to the original file, give that back to our customers so that they've got insights into the material impacts for them, and also data necessary for any emissions reporting or other disclosure requirements that they might have. On the top right are all of the actionable steps that we then take to help our customers reduce those impacts through investments in environmental projects and offsets, through partnerships with local and regional nonprofits to create impact at the local and community level, and also telling this whole story to the end consumer and celebrating these positive actions in an authentic and sincere way, while also trying to drive meaningful metrics for the brand in terms of net promoter score and increased loyalty and incremental sales. I mentioned that we're investing in projects all over the globe, and to date, we've invested in over 100 projects across carbon, renewable energy, plastic reclamation, and water credits. And we're choosing projects based upon our customers' goals and their needs. And so that could include strategic considerations around project type and how that may be aligned with the customer's industry, to project location and where our customers' offices are and where their customers are, and of course, cost. We use a portfolio approach that allows us to invest in multiple project types, from nature-based solutions that most people would be familiar with, so things like reforestation or regenerative agriculture, to technology-based projects like landfill methane capture or wind or solar energy. And we're purchasing these credits on the voluntary carbon market, just like any other companies that are buying offsets outside of a compliance market. We are not brokers, however. We don't buy and sell credits. We're only buying and then retiring on behalf of our clients' needs. And so we have an internal carbon team that is responsible for this process, that are selecting projects that meet the vigorous standards of some of the top international standard setting boards. These are the logos on your screen, like Gold Standard and Vera. And we're also applying some of our own internal criteria to our selection process to identify any projects that have additional community and biodiversity attributes or alignment with UN Sustainable Development Goals and other social and environmental benefits. And this entire process, as well as the previous slide, the accounting that we are performing, the data that we're receiving, this all receives independent third-party verification by a Big Four accounting firm once a year. And we do that in order to provide an additional layer of transparency and quality controls for our customers and the end consumer. And that's all I had today. Again, this was intended to be a quick overview on our company, on our programs. If you've heard anything that you think would be helpful for your organization, please reach out. My email is listed on the screen. Would love to talk to you some more and see if we can provide any services that would be helpful to you or your organization. Thank you very much.